hear crack? Yeah, well, we always know where we have to start, right? Now, Trinidad's folklore is very different from Tobago's folklore. Trinidad folklore is very particular. Trinidad's folklore arrived in Trinidad very suddenly, somewhere around the 1780s. It came out of the French islands and it was brought here by the French people, the free black people, the slave people, and an amazing act of syncretism took place, where out of all these various elements came an amazing collection of evocative and powerful characters. Am I talking too loud? Yeah. Now, out of this syncretism that is drawn from West African religious traditions, passed through the prism of French Catholicism and Frenchness, produced these amazing and significant echoes that are really the echoes of the time when our country was young. And out of the Creole culture that dominated most of the 19th century and into the 20th century, out of this French-African milieu comes these amazing personalities. One of the most amazing pieces of syncretic characterizations to emerge is, of course, the Lajables. The Lajables draws dramatically from a West African deity by the name of Izuli. She is the goddess of love and devotion and sexiness. And when the drums for Izuli beat in Haiti today, it bumped the head of the most beautiful woman in the audience. And you see her come out. And even if she old, she gets young before your eyes. And she smells of perfume and eau de cologne and eaten in Paris. But the most amazing thing is that the other side of this personality is the Lajables. And the Lajables is famous for this. This is what is characteristic of the This is what is famous for the Lajables. This is Chicago. And you see, it also comes with the chain that is the memory of slavery. And it also comes with the beautiful diadems, because she has this around her neck, and big gold earrings and a hair tie in the old-fashioned Martigan style. And you have to be careful with her. But women have nothing to worry about with the Lajables, because she only haunting men. She is the spirit of the woman who has been wronged by man. You never hear a Lajables haunt a woman. And they could always spot him, you know. He's the Sagaboy in the party. He come in the party, he see the girl. Everybody know about him, he have a nice gold teeth. He's big woman, all kind of thing. You see her, he miss her in the party. You see her again, he miss her in the party. When the party done, he find himself in the parking lot. Nobody there. Then he spot her, she by the gate. As he walk out behind her, she start to walk, walking behind her. As he walking, he catching up with her. Her head spin round so. Still walking, and two of them still walking. She said, give me a light. And with that, he gone. He don't come back again for years and years. When he come back, he's stupid. All kind of thing. The Lajables is the spirit of the woman wrong. This is one part of her personality, the cloven hoof. This is the memory of her origins. She reverberates out of the West African tradition as the retributive goddess of love, despair, tabanka. Nice one, eh? Quick! They tell me I have to go quick, so you get this in song night. Now our next character is a different personality altogether. This is a personality that comes out from the beginning, because this is the story of the ancient one, the one who used to live in the heights, who walking through the forest, never met his like. You have to come on this side to... Yeah, watch it good. This is Papa Boa. He's older. Now if you notice something, all these folklore characters have French names, because you see they come out of this. Papa Boa emerges out of tales of the high forest, out of memories of long ago. I met an old man in La Brea. I was doing a museum down there, and he told me, he said, you see Papa Boa? Papa Boa is an ancient memory of a giant that used to live in the forest. He was the protector of animals. And as he talked about it, I had to ask him, I said, you sure it wasn't a giant sloth that you were talking about? One of those huge creatures, 6 foot, 8 foot high, full of hair that used to walk through the forest? He told me, no! Papa Boa is a real Papa Boa. And if you bother with Papa Boa, if you go in the forest and you hunt too much animals, he will come and he'll kick down your pot. If you go in the forest and you catch fires in the trees, he come and look for you in the night. Papa Boa, he's a real character. We should send him to Brazil. Now, the other character that we have, that is another amazing creature that comes out of this ancient twilight of the beginning of our childhood of the Creole society of long ago. And this is none other than the Sukuya. One writer wrote about the Sukuya. He said, a ball of flame, along she came, blowing without a wind, flying without a wind. And if you look at her good, you can see the change taking place. As she emerges out, as she emerges out of her former self, the pretty young girl who changes into this heart, and she's a ball of fire that flies through the night. And one of the things about Sukuya is that they have to keep their business, their skin in a water. Now this is a genuine Sukuya water from Parliament. This is real thing. And they used to have a school for Sukuya in Parliament long time. I think they closed it. But in that school for Sukuya, it used to teach them all the various things necessary to be a flyer. And it's very important how you learn to fly as a Sukuya. But before you learn to fly as a Sukuya, what you have to do is to be able to find out how to come out of your skin. And to come out of your skin, what you really need to have is a big black penny from Queen Victoria. And this is the last black penny. Father, they were trying to give me this black penny. Look here. You see it? And if you want to be a Sukuya, you have to go to school in Parliament first. And then they send you down to Lapaloo Cemetery one full moon night, and you have to go and look for a freshly buried corpse. You have to dig up the corpse. You have to find the liver in this putrefying, bubbling corpse full of worms. And as you find it, you have to dig out the liver with this. From that you make oil. And that is a very secret recipe that only come down in a handful of French Creole families. And that oil is the oil, my good family, and that come down in the oil over the years. They have some famous supuyas over the years, but it's very hard to find anything left of them after they die. This tooth, this tooth here, this is a supuya tooth. Don't ask me where I get it, but this is a genuine tooth. No, supuyas are really very amazing, you know. That is Supuya in Parliament, her name was Desiree. Now Desiree is a very good name for a Supuya because it means desire. Desiree and her friend thief a man one night and they carry him to Bago and they sex him. So when they bring him back now, he get heavy and they land in a big breadfruit tree in Toko. When the morning comes, they fly off and they leave him there. When the villagers come out that morning, they see this naked man sitting down in this breadfruit tree with a set of kobo watching him. Supuya, one morning, the matron from his school, she come in town. She come in town with one of the students. She was going to cash a check. So as she come in town, she come out the maxi. And she walks straight through the glass in the Scotiabank. The student coming behind her walking fast, she hit the glass and fall off, boom. You see, she was sufficiently advanced. So that is some of the supuya. Now, you see this? This is a piece of supuya skin. You want to hold it? You can hold it. They have the whole supuya story on it. See, that is real skin. But the thing about the skin, the thing about the skin is always a big problem, you know, because if somebody come and hide the skin, that is a big problem. If somebody come and throw coarse salt on the skin, that is another big problem. Because when the supuya come home and she fly back through the window and she see the skin in the water, she started to say, skin, 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 come to me. Skin, 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 come to me. And you see the skin get up from inside the water, looking like a wet jersey, and it coming so to her. But as she put it on, it's only the fault. But that's how you catch the supuya. But you have to be careful with stories, because very often the old woman who is killed as a result of being a supuya really have a lot of land, and the people want the land, so they say she's a supuya. So you have to be careful with supuya stories. The next unnerving character in this pantheon of folk stories of Trinidad is of course the Dwen. You know about Dwen? What do you know about Dwen? The Dwen is another fantastic out of this world character. But the story of the Dwen is really this story. The story of the Dwen is the mother who comes out 4:30, 5 o'clock. She's looking for the boy. Ronnie! No answer. Ronnie! Time to come inside. Ronnie! Where are you? Hey! With that, the heart starts beating fast because she can't find the child. You see, the haunting of the Dwen is not the little boy, you know. It's not the child that is lost. The haunting is the mother, the fear, the terror that is invoked in the mother when she can't find the child. So she runs down the road, she looks at the drain, she looks at the neighbor yard, she can't find the boy. Robbie! Several hours later, they really find him sleeping in the neighbor pigeon coop where he really likes to go and look at the pigeons. But how he reached there? He reached there because he heard a whistle. I'm trying to find out you don't spit the whistle. He get the whistle, monkey hear it. And he follow it. And as he following it, he seen a little baby, but looking like a baby. And it didn't frighten him that the baby foot pointing backwards. Because he's a boy. And the little baby float away. And he following the baby gone by the pigeon coop. And then the baby disappear. And he fall asleep there. What was the baby? The baby was a Gwen. The baby knows his father whistle. So that's why he followed it. And the Gwen is the spirit of the unbaptized child. That is the story of the Gwen. That is the beginning of the Gwen stories. I have to put back this. Now we come to by far and away the most fascinating, written about, talked about, discussed folklore character of all. The Lagahu. Watch him good. Now, what is interesting about the Lagahu is that he's the only folklore character who changes and evolves over the years. The Lagahu starts off first as a Obia man on an estate. He could be the estate poisoner. Years later, in a different form of his life, because he's a shape changer, he come back now, and he's a science man, and he reading the Tital Bay. You see, that's the book you read in there. That is the book he, I thought I could fly. That is the book he's reading there, the Tital Bay. You see the devil watching him? That's the devil watching him. And what he does is that he arranges for somebody to sell their soul to the devil, for money, for power, for various things. He's also the master of the crossroads. And this is where a syncretic movement took place with the stories of the Lagahu and Papa Legba, a West African deity who is the master of the crossroads. And as you could see, what is taking place in the crossroads there is that the Lagahu has evoked a phantom. And the phantom is this big figure standing up there where the roads cross. And he's going up and down like one of those block things that you see in gas stations these days. And as you're watching him, you see a man come. He's a naked black man. You have a chain around your waist and a coffin on your head and 3 candles. You see him? Now you have to understand that the Lagahu is a businessman, because what in the coffin is really bushram. And as he comes through the village, the police station doors stop, close, whap, and the bushram pass. The Lagahu is the shape changer, he's the Obia man, he's the poisoner. A story about the Lagahu. A woman couldn't make a baby. She went to the Obia man, she went to the Lagahu. She said, I want to make a baby. So the Lagahu went and he looked in the book, the Tital Bay book. And he find the right spirit. Find the right job. That night she go to sleep. When she wake up in the night, she feels something sitting down on top of her. When she open her eyes, she see the ugliest thing she ever seen in her life. She get pregnant. She make a baby. The baby is a cambion. It's the son of a monster, a demon, and a human woman. This baby is a terrible baby. Then a guy named Charlie Dastic, he used to live in Basel Street. He coming home one night by the big silk cotton tree that used to be down in Savannah. He see a baby. He said, oh, look a baby. So he pull up on the bike and he pick up the baby. And as he going down the road and he riding, the baby getting heavy. By the time he reached Learning Avenue, the baby heavy. He can't pedal. By the time he reached by the girls' school, the baby heavy. He's struggling. He's about to fall off the bike. The baby watching. He said, here now, Mr. Elastic, you better take me back where you find me. So Charlie went back and put on the baby. Now that's a true story, eh? I know Skylark story. That's a very, very true story. So if you're going home late one night and you see a baby, don't pick it up. Leave it right there. Because you never could tell what that baby had for you. I'm missing out anything in the other room. The last aspect of our folklore pantheon again draws heavily from the West African traditions of syncretic movements with other cultures. And one of the most remarkable ones is one that took place in Tobago, because Tobago has a folklore of fairy maids and mermaids. Fairy maids and mermaids. Imagine that in Tobago. When I was doing that research in Tobago, I went to Black Rock. And I asked a Tobagonian man, he had a little parlor right there on Black Rock. I said, what fairy maids look like? What mermaids look like? He said, well, they look like kings of old or warriors of long ago. I said, are you calling them maids? He said, yes. With a little bit of help of a guy who wrote called Nico in Tobago. Nico pointed me to the right direction. He said that when the ex-slaves in Tobago went into the estate house, what they saw was the big world maps. And in the corner of the map, there was a cartouche. And supporting the cartouche, that gave lengths of miles and stuff like that, was Neptune and mermaids and the beautiful spirits of the ocean, Oceanus and the European ocean gods. And they knew that although they had forgotten the West African terms of Imanja and Oshun, that was what those spirits looked like. So this is why, in a curious kind of a way, the stories of Tobago's mermaids and fairy maids have this interesting origin. Now if a fairy maid fall in love with you, for example, and I'm sure that could happen to you. You look like a man that could happen to. That a fairy maid fall in love with you. She like you. She find you have nice skin. And you look chunky. And she give you brilliance beyond imagination. Anything you do till the morning. You're rich. You're dressing like Watson Duke. You have all kind of bundles. Different kind of hairdo every day. But as you're getting old, you know you have to get rid of that. And they only have one way. Listen good. They only have one way to come out from that job. You have to find the right Tobagonian. Now you know that's a very hard thing to do. They take you by the sea and they beat you with a fowl. They hold the fowl by the foot and they beat you with the fowl. When they don't beat you with the fowl, you have to get 2 pairs of shoes, ladies' shoes. And you have to leave the one side of the other side to the one side of the next side. And you have to catch it on fire. Turn your back. and walk away. And then you have to say, nothing but this pair of shoes. That's the important thing that you have to remember. Nothing but this pair of shoes. And the mermaid will rise up in the water. Watch your good. And you go. So that is a Tobago story. Now, our water spirit in Trinidad is Mama Glow. Mama Glow is a beautiful girl. What?
Time almost up.
You want me to come and kiss you?
Time almost up.
Time what?
Time almost up. 2 minutes.
I have 2 minutes. She gave me 2 minutes. You think I should get 5? Right, the audience have it. 5 more minutes. Mama Glow is again another one of those syncretic mixture of West African tradition and French Creole culture. The first thing you ever hear about Mama Glow is a slap that you hear across a still pond in the middle of the forest. What? That is her tail that she lashes. You have to be careful with Mama Glow, because you see Mama Glow, if you do anything bad in the forest, like you destroy the pool, or you go and cut down the trees, you could get married to Papa, you could get married to Mama Glow for a very long time, and that is really trouble. Because you see, most of Mama Glow is a long mackerel snake, and the upper part of her is a beautiful body, and that is Mama Glow. So that is the end of my presentation, ladies and gentlemen. It was a pleasure talking.